the hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Hardik is in the middle of a challenging time, losing the first two games of their IPL season. It's a big one for him. He's filling big shoes with Rohit Sharma, who's been the most successful captain in IPL history, lifting 5 titles, and it hasn't started well for him. So he's under a little bit of pressure at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see what the reception's like in their first home game at Wankhede in a couple of days' time. It's going to be, we've heard a few boos going around at the grounds, which, that's been disappointing, I think, from my aspect. But I'm intrigued to see what the reception's like in Mumbai. We know how big a star Rohit is and how much he's loved inside that stadium. So I'm intrigued to see the reception there.
I think we all started this, what kind of reception will Hardik get, with a bit of intrigue and spice and drama which is associated with the IPL. But that it carried on from the first game at Ahmedabad, which you can understand, his former franchise.
Yeah.
But to Hyderabad, which had no stakes in the contest, so to speak. Do you sense somewhere this can affect a player mentally? I mean, would it make you feel even more cornered than all the other things that you were probably expecting when you took the job?
Yeah, it's possible, isn't it? I didn't expect to see it the other night in Hyderabad. As you said, there wasn't a great deal of context with Hyderabad and that happening. I understood the first one in Gujarat going back home to his former side. But I feel like he's under a little bit of pressure. I think he's made a few tactical errors in the first couple of games, batting himself a little bit low probably in the first one, is my assessment. And then I think in particular in the second one, Bumrah only bowling 1 over in the first 13 overs was in my mind just a little bit mind-blowing. He's the best bowler in the world, and to have only bowled 1 over when the team's got 173 on the board in the 12th over, I was in disbelief, to be honest. Yeah. But I'm sure he's going to learn from that. I think as a captain you have to have plans in place for the start of the game, and clearly the plan was to bowl Bumrah straight up to Heinrich Klaasen. But you've got to shift your plans when things aren't going well, and it didn't look like they shifted. They sort of just kept doing the same thing, and I'm sure he'll learn from it, but it was a bit of a blunder, I think, in his first outing there.
I can't help but think he's normally quite a sharp captain in the IPL. This is, of course, a new franchise, even though it's the old one. If there's a correlation between, say, the tactical errors and perhaps what he may be feeling mentally, but he perhaps cannot show. I mean, modern-day cricketer can't really show signs of weakness at times. You've often played in front of hostile crowds, oppositions, high stakes. Can booing get through, pierce the skin, even though you are a thick-skinned modern-day cricketer?
I mean, everyone's different, aren't they? And how they handle different situations. Personally, for me, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't pay any attention. It's all white noise. But certainly players do hear things, and everyone's entitled to their own emotions and how they respond to those. So is it affecting him? Maybe. It's possible. He probably hasn't experienced that before in any walk of life. So it's natural, I suppose, to, particularly being in India and a star Indian player, to be in that position where some fans are booing you. It's certainly something he wouldn't have experienced.
If you were with him in that dressing room right now, how would you handle this? What would you say to him, perhaps, to just try and get him?
I'd try and just say, just block it out. Like, it's all irrelevant. No one outside knows what you're going through. No one is in that change room. I think they look like a pretty tight team, Mumbai. They have been for a long time. They've been so successful, and we've seen that he is a good captain. He's won the IPL with Gujarat. Yeah. So he knows what he's doing. It's just the start of the year. It hasn't quite gone to plan. As we've said, there was a few tactical decisions that I think were questionable, but that happens in the game sometimes. I've made mistakes captaining on the field as well. You're not always perfect and not always at your best, but it's about learning from those situations and thinking, what could I have done differently? what could I have done better to help us have success? And I'm sure he's looking at what he could have done, and I think the team that Mumbai have, they'll turn it around.
Can help sometimes come from an unexpected source if the crowd is against you and for someone else. How about that player turning around and telling the crowd? You've had your own high-profile experience of it. If you could take me through whether that helped in any way. I mean, the gesture, the symbol, when Virat Kohli decided to tell the crowd, stop booing.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? No, I remember that game, and Virat, I walked past him and sort of gave a little fist bump, I think, from memory. So, yeah, I mean, maybe someone can do something. Maybe it's Rohit Sharma. Maybe he stands up and says, guys, what's going on? Let's support this guy. I don't know. That could happen, I suppose. We'll wait and see.
It made you feel good, though. I can only imagine it made you feel good. It was like, yeah,
I mean,
cool.
It's nice, when someone does something to... You're in the middle of a game, you're playing against an opponent. I thought it was a really nice gesture, yeah.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.